Good day, everyone. This is Faust Calhoun. This is a little bit different than my normal style of doing videos because this one will be unscripted, but no worry, it will still be family friendly and ready for all. And I am here making a video for two buddies at work. So it is Jennifer and Jessica. So I'm making this little video for you too, so I can explain the reason why me and several people call certain people Olaf. So yes, Olaf. It is not from what many people think. It is not from Frozen, which many people are thinking of. Oh, the silly old snowman. No, 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 no. It is not from that. It is actually from something else. It comes from a video game that was on the Super Nintendo about, say, less than 30 years ago. So this game is called Rock and Roll Racing. So it was a fun little game where you get to choose from a list of different racers. It's far future stuff. You get to choose from a list of different racers that have different bonuses. So like better turning speed, better using your weapon speed, or like accuracy, more ammunition, better armor, things like that. And then as you're playing through the game, you can upgrade your racers with new firearms and better armors, better tires, etc., etc. So there is a secret character in the game, which is a Viking called Olaf, and the guy looked so freaking goofy, and they also tried to make it look very similar to the Vikings football team little logo, but make it super cartoony and goofy looking. So me and the several people at work, we've played that game, we've talked about it, and Olaf in that game is the best character, but he's also a bad guy in the character. Like bad guy. Best character in the game to play, but the worst character in the game. If you can kind of catch my drift, what I'm trying to say. So with that said, is Olaf is a bad guy, and that's kind of where we are coming from when we're saying that. When we say, hey, this person, like, hey, there's Olaf over there. So when we say that, it's a bad person or there's something wrong with them. Because Olaf pretty much is the name you use for a story. When you're talking about someone who is a constant screw up, just a bad person, and that just messes everything up for everyone. So think about it as our version of a Karen, but without saying Karen because people know what that word means now. So, but we've been using this for the last 15 years. We've just been calling like, hey, there's Olaf. Me, I thought I originally started that was because when I was in school, when I was writing papers, like doing papers, doing assignments, stuff like that, and anything I need to do or have a straw man argument, I would always bring up Olaf. And so, like, yeah, Olaf is a complete idiot, a bad person that screws everything up for everyone. So, pretty much the worst kind of person you can think of, that's Olaf. So, that is, I thought I did that years ago in school before I got my bachelor's, and then moved on to and then years later I'm at work and then I'm talking with some people and then it brings up the Super Nintendo games, which many of us played because we've been playing games since we're kids. And so we see this, I'm talking about that, and I'm talking about some stuff about me in school, and then how I always use a person named Olaf for that. And then that's when some of the other people's like, Olaf, do you mean the snowman? No, 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 no. It's from a game, Rock and Roll Racing. I'm like, how you know about that game? So yeah. So that's kind of like the origins to the Olaf. Who is Olaf? What they are, kind of like how they screw everything up. But no, I'm telling you. So, one story for me. It is about Olaf. in in a store I go to. So I like to play games more like Warhammer 40,000, War Machine, Mark III, different games like that, Malfo. So I'm in one of those hobby stores playing, looking for a game. So I go there just hanging out with a few buddies. I played a game with one guy and then ended it. So after that, I'm just like it was just a small game because it was something light, something quick because the guy didn't have much time left. So he had to go do some stuff because he could only be out till 4. So we just did a quick game, like 1,000 points or 500 points, something quick that wouldn't be too bad because we both play guard. And then it's just like, hey, why not do a quick little tank battle with anti-tank everything? And we're like, yeah, why not? So pretty much whoever ends up going first and rolls better wins, kind of thing. And I really didn't care because I'm like, hey, I'm just there, just looking for a game, talking with a buddy of mine. So I'm going to take a drink right now. So I'm drinking some tea right now. It is from Yogi Tea. It is called Chai Rooibos. So Rooibos, I like it. It is an African root, from a bush. I believe it's the leaves, yeah. Some leaves from a African bush that when dried and steamed they become red and then they can flavor water. And which is pretty much is red tea. So it is a chai rooibos, so no caffeine, so I can drink it later on the night. And I do have some nice tasty Bacardi, 10-year aged, beside it. And then I have some lighter, yeah, just some lighter spiced, cheaper rum in it, just for that. But yeah, the Bacardi 10-year age, I have that stuff on ice. It's just a cup, ice, and just a shot of Bacardi, so I can drink it because that stuff has some flavor in it. It is really, you can taste a nice vanilla flavor with the sugar and the flavor of why can't I get that word, butterscotch? So nice, good, sweet vanilla flavor with the carameliness of butterscotch, and it is just a great finish, great drink, very smooth to drink. So yeah, I really do like that. And that is for the parents of the group. And for kids in the group, remember, no consuming of any alcoholic beverages until you're the age of 21, which I myself disagree with because I was in the military. So at the age of 18, I was able to serve our country, go to another country, eliminate and destroy the enemies of the United States of America, and at the age of 18, and willing to make the ultimate sacrifice at the age of 18. But I had to wait at least 3 more years so I can drink alcohol for some weird reason. But yes, let's continue. And remember, follow the laws of your state and your local county area and their regulations upon that. And do not push out of that. But yes, going off back to the story of the Olaf that was in the little group. So this guy, uh, just going to call him Olaf. So scrawny guy, a little bit taller than me, lanky guy. Seriously, seems like a movie depiction of someone who is addicted to illegal substances. And I'm not talking about cannabis, because over here in this state, cannabis is legal. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the really, really hard stuff, kind of junky guy. But so the guy used to play Magic a whole bunch, so his mindset is still Magic. Which, to tell you, most people in Magic, I do stay away from, because it seems like a lot of people whose main game is Magic. Like, I'm not saying, hey, this is a side game or a game you just play for something fill up, but people whose main game is Magic, there is something developmentally wrong with them. And it's just like, if you ever go there, or even if you're a Magic player, look at them. I know those thoughts have crossed your head. There's something wrong with this guy. It's undiagnosed. This person refuses to get it diagnosed, which, if they got it diagnosed, it would help them. But yes, continuing after I have another sip of my tea. So, on that note, is okay. So I'm playing a game with him. He had Death Watch. I brought my guard. So we're playing a game. So yes, Death Watch is an Imperial faction, which are part of the Ordo Xenos, which is a faction in Warhammer 40,000 that is part of the Inquisition, very similar to the Inquisition that pops into your head. Yes, the Spanish Inquisition and the Inquisition raids that happen in many places of the world. Okay, so the Inquisition has the Space Marines, genetically modified super soldiers for humanity. And the Death Watch, it is a group that is not an actual chapter. So a chapter, Space Marines, pretty much, they find their aspirants, they raise them up, turn them to acolytes, train them, and then they become full-fledged Marines, Space Marines, Adeptus Astartes. So with that, is the Death Watch is not a chapter; it is a group, and they only request or take volunteers from other chapters, volunteers of veterans like veteran Marines, to go over there and serve for a period of time, and then go back to their chapter and bring any of the knowledge that they've learned from there, and then pass it on to others. So the Death Watch is not a chapter; it's they're a special little group working for the Ordo Xenos, and their whole thing is to get rid of the alien, the menace, yeah, the Xenos. Well, to get rid of the Eldari, the Tau, the Orcs. Just like, hey, we don't want any of you, even with the Necrons. Get rid of them, because their whole fight is against them. So he's playing that. I'm playing my guard. I had some tanks, had some guys, but we decided to play a 2,000 point, which is a 2,000 point list is pretty much a standard, say, tournament list. So it's both you know about the game, so I'm not going to actually get into the game details because you both actually know about the game. So where we're playing, we're moving around, and then so he is playing his Death Watch where he's going more aggressive into the more melee orientated. So he runs into into a group of my guardsmen, 20 guardsmen with a command squad and a psyker on it. So the psyker gives them a 4+ feel no pain, which is amazing. And then the command squad, extra guys, gives him orders and some abilities to do extra things. So I had there, he goes into charges a dreadnought in there and kills 2 guys. And like out of his, I want to say 6 attacks, only kills 2 guys. And then for me is that I was able to push in further, and I was able to deal at least like, I want to say with his dreadnought having 10 health, I was able to knock it down to 2 health. Just because I had some lucky rolls, and where my Ogren was placed, he was able to put some hurt in. Okay, and then another part is that, so that was his turn. That was like the biggest thing he did. On the flip side, it was my turn. So I had multiple different Marine squads in the open, and I just used at least 40, like 2 of my guard squads, both 20 guys, focus firing on one squad, wiped out one squad, and then my other squad and tanks focus on the other one, took that out. So I took out 2 of his squads, 2 of his veteran squads, and then the guy just started whining and complaining the whole time. So, like every time I did something, the whole game is like when I attacked back immediately with his to his dreadnought, he's complaining and whining, saying it's like, oh, in the lore, these guys I don't understand how these guys can hurt a dreadnought. Is that they're just normal people, or it's like why are the guardsmen taking out a squad of Marines where in the lore these guys can take out 10 guardsmen? It's pretty much one Space Marine to 10 guardsmen, and just complaining and whining the whole time and just completely killing the fun. And I'm just like, dude. And so, like at turn 3, I'm like, dude. Okay, so like I'm winning. I'm clearly winning just because he's not using good tactics, not using stuff like that. And I'm actually getting very annoyed with it. So at turn 3, I'm like, dude, I'm not having fun anymore because all he's doing is complaining and whining and stuff like that. And I'm telling, and then so I start packing up my models, telling him I'm not having fun. And then he starts going on some stuff like that, and then just like whining and doing some other stuff. And I'm like, dude. And then just kept going. I'm like, dude, you need to stop, man, because this is actually kind of making me angry. What he's doing and how he's complaining and how he keeps going on. And he just would not stop. And I just got mad. I'm like, and then that's when I kind of started raising my voice a little bit and then talking more, more firmly. Told him stop, enough. When people tell you, like, dude, you need to stop, they're not joking. And like me, I'm prior military. I've gained some pounds, but dude, I've kept up a decent physique. I do have some decent arms, decent legs, and I do know how to fight. And I'd like, dude, like seriously, look at me. I am a person who is not, like, does not want to do anything stupid. I do not want to hurt you, but with how you're going to anyone else, I know they will swing at you. So I'm trying to teach the guy while trying to give him a little lesson in life. It's like, hey, like people will do this stuff. People will end up getting fight. Usually when people are kind enough to give you a warning, just take that warning, dude. Because hey, they're giving you that warning for a reason. And I'm kind of like getting at that level where I'm like tired of this. Ooh. And I'm just getting tired. And then so he packs everything up and then goes. And I'm just like, all right, sure, go, get out of here. I'm done with you. Completely done with him. And I'm like, I'm never playing this guy again because he just made the game completely unfun and just sucked all the stuff out. Because like, dude, it's not we're doing a tournament. We're just having a little bit of fun, doing some little things. And it's still really, really early in 10th edition. We're talking about in the first few in the first 3 weeks of 10th edition. So everyone is trying to get the rules solved out and settled out. And it's just yeah, I made a few mistakes on rules and so did you, but for some reason you don't see you making the mistakes. And then when I call out the mistakes, you get super quiet and just don't say anything about it because you realize yeah, I made that mistake, but I'm one of those weak wimp people who won't take responsibility for the stuff they messed up on. But yeah, so kind of like that. So that's kind of like an Olaf. Someone who takes the fun out of everything, someone who makes things worse, someone who kills the fun for other people, take the joy away, who's just not a good person, someone that ruins the good things for everyone else. That's pretty much what an Olaf is. But anyways, you two, Jessica and Jennifer, I will see you two later at work, and I will send you both this link so you guys know that I made this video, talked a little bit more, and I'm glad both of you actually know about Warhammer 40,000 so that I don't actually have to go into more detail about it, which makes the video very short, but it also makes it very easy for me too. But alrighty then, and to everyone else, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and remember, most importantly of all, always love the Kellhound. You all take care now.